Alright, and ladies and gents, hello and welcome everybody. Happy New Year. Hopefully this year 2025 is going to be much better for Kaspa and overall crypto than 2024 was. So if you're new to the channel, remember that this video is not financial advice and consider subscribing if you are new. I guess I already said that, but anyways, guys, looking at crypto bubbles, well, things are the way they are. Let me switch it to the daily, and we got some movements if it comes to the daily, so it's not total dump. All right, weekly is showing us such situation. Please be aware of this AI 16 whatever says this is some sort of a scam. They are basically posting comments, you know, on every single video on my channel and different channels as well, you know, based on my quick research. Anyways, guys, let's go to Kaspa. So what we are seeing for Kaspa, guys, Kaspa dipped 2.5% in the last 24 hours, and kind of worrying thing is that we are sitting on 65 million volume. Ranking is at 46 and market cap is sitting at 2.8 billion USD. Now we are sitting at 88.6% mined. Nothing really has changed since yesterday, guys. Before we are going to look at different tweets and X's, so on and so forth, let's actually have a look at ETFs. All right, because believe it or not, we had some inflows as of yesterday, 31st of December 2024. We've got only 5.3 million of inflows for BTC, and interesting enough is that BlackRock was selling, right, and Fidelity was actually purchasing, right? So we got two different, well, actually three different asset managers that were actually purchasing BTC. Nonetheless, we've got a little bit of more positivity for Ethereum as of yesterday. We've got 3.6 mil, and well, BlackRock didn't sell anything. Fidelity actually purchased something, and this one I guess is Grayscale, right? So Grayscale actually starts purchasing Ethereum, which obviously is a great thing because that is going to lead towards that phase number 2, the path to alt season. And now, guys, looking at information regarding Kaspa, we've got Kaspa that is now being available on Nexo, and here is a brief overview of Kaspa currency, blah blah. Guys, basically Nexo is kind of like swap and stuff like that, so it's still bullish news. Obviously that's a new gate that is being currently opened for, you know, people that are obviously going to be purchasing Kaspa, so on and so forth, so that's good. And by the way, if you want to keep your Kaspa safe outside of exchanges, make sure that you check out Tangent Wallet. So Tangent Wallet, basically it's safer option to store your Kaspa or, you know, other cryptocurrencies outside of exchanges on which anything might happen. And also another good thing about this is that you can actually sell your Kaspa or other coin into USDT, so there is no need of selling and sending, you know, to exchanges. All right, so guys, with my discount code you can get minus 20% off, and you can find the link below in this video. All right, you can also find the links to different exchanges, so on so forth. Now let's move on, guys, because we've got this was posted by Dog the Law, and basically he says that you shouldn't sell your Kaspa just yet. It looks like we are near a market bottom. The funding rate is at an extreme negative, just like the last times it perfectly called the market direction. So, well, guys, based on this chart, obviously we are in this purple-ish kind of a color, right? Well, I guess purple, and you know, funding rates are negative and all of that, and every single time that actually happened for Kaspa, we had a pump towards the upside, right? So, well, let's see how this is going to play out. I know that the market doesn't look juicy, but let's move on, guys. I've got different technicals and different charts that are basically, you know, supporting different theses, right? They are definitely much more juicy, and this is something that I'm basically ignoring, all right? Because obviously it does hurt my portfolio as well, not only yours. But anyways, looking at Kaspa, it is Kaspa highest red volume ever, and it couldn't even put in a lower low on the monthly. Huge gains ahead. This is incredibly bullish. Well, let's see, guys, right? This is something that the man with a ball is posting, so I'm sharing that knowledge with you. And by the way, guys, if you are going to stick until the end of the video, I have a little bonus for you, so make sure that you do. Anyways, we've got others on a weekly by Mr. Trader Taringrade. He says that altcoin season is coming, and others, total crypto market cap excluding top 10, indicates a potential surge, except a significant pump from the rising wedge soon. So guys, we had a rising wedge situation basically in the past, right? That was 2019, 2020. So that was that, you know, overall accumulation zone in the last bear cycle. Well, two bear cycles ago, I guess, and then we had the first exit outside of it, and we had the rising wedge. Okay, so after that rising wedge, we finally had this parabolic run for altcoins. So let's have a look at now how these two cycles actually are looking like, right? So we've got the bear cycle, right? We had two dumps, let's say, in that accumulation zone, well, not counting this one, but whatever, and then we are currently experiencing that rising wedge. Okay, so well, based on this, obviously if history is going to repeat and you know everything is going to go according with the plan, I guess that our beloved altcoins are going to pump. So now the question is, can they dump short term? Well, definitely, right? Is your portfolio going to be not juicy short term? Well, probably, right? But of course it depends on when you have started accumulating crypto, right? Anyways, ladies and gents, let's move on because I've got different stuff. All right, Mr. Max is pointing this out. Crypto total market cap is going to 7 trillion, sorry. So you know, very simple macro analysis, right? On a monthly, if we are going to follow this rising trend line, we could technically, you know, top at 7 trillion. But from the other hand, it's not necessarily said that you know, we are going to get rejected and this is the end, right? Of course we can enter this, you know, super cycle that you know people are talking about on the internet, but I wouldn't really count on this. Okay, I'm going to sell everything probably nearing this area. Okay, and of course guys, if the super cycle is going to happen, then probably I'll be crying. Okay, but it's definitely, you know, to cry having money rather than not. Anyways, let's move on because we've got Prof posting this. This is monthly for BTC. So ETH BTC has been in a falling wedge for 3.5 years now. There is no reason not to be bullish on altcoins in 2025. Have a good start of the new year. Oh, guys, obviously the falling wedge is a bullish pattern, okay? And that chart, ETH BTC, basically is showing how Ethereum is still kind of, you know, well, lagging behind BTC, but that is going to change sooner rather than later. Anyways, we've got another chart, and guys, please don't think, why is he showing me all of these charts for ETH and Solana and BTC and all of this? Because it's all connected, guys, all right? If, you know, what I'm showing you isn't going to pump, your Kaspa isn't going to pump either, okay? So be patient, guys, and just follow the process, okay? Because this is what I'm doing, basically. Anyways, Solana shows a similar chart pattern, a longer support trend line holding up Sol, a shorter resistance line pushing down Sol. These lines formed converging triangles. There was a massive rally following the former triangle. Will Sol perform the same as before? Well, I believe it will, and I believe it's going to see the continuation, okay? But when exactly? Probably I would be waiting around 3 weeks for the inauguration ceremony for Mr. Donald Trump, and after that probably we are going to see, you know, this huge phase, you know, for most of the alts, right? So this is 3 daily, some of them were weekly, some of them were monthly. So guys, please remember that patience is required with this game. And speaking about patience for my lovely Kaspa holders, guys, let's have a look. This is for hourly, okay? So basically referring to my yesterday's update, nothing really has changed, okay? We basically had this cascading effect that started yesterday, and that was at 11 p.m. at least where I am, and we had 1 2 3 4 5, basically we have 5 bearish candles for Kaspa, and that was basically a drop of 4%, okay? But nice thing is that Kaspa got supported by this overall level that I've just drawn a couple of days ago, as you can see in here. And now the question is Kaspa going to kind of bounce towards the upside here on short time frame, and then, you know, search for the liquidity and anticipate this breakout, obviously following Solana and everything else and so on and so forth? Well, let's have a look at liquidity, because that potentially might help us to determine of what can potentially happen with Kaspa short term. But first, let's have a look at BTC's liquidity, all right? So Binance on a daily, all right? We've got 665 million worth of shorts versus 486, all right? So let's say that this is kind of an even. Obviously more people are shorting, which gives more fuel for BTC to actually go higher. Anyways, 7 daily is showing us a significant picture of $6.72 billion worth of shorts versus 3.3 billion worth of longs, okay? So now everybody is shorting the market on, let's say, a little bit of a more macro perspective, if we can call 7 daily macro. And due to that fact, based on the liquidity at least, we could expect BTC actually going towards the upside, okay? I know what you know, other YouTubers are showing, but this is the data, right? So based at least on this, unless something is going to happen again, BTC should reclaim levels of 96k and then 96,700. All right, and obviously after that we are going to reevaluate. Let's actually have a look at the weekly, and of course guys, we are going to look at Kaspa's liquidity. All right, so this is something that I've just showed to you, and higher level of liquidity is at 97,560, and then we've got 99 and 101, right? The only thing is that we also have some levels of liquidity at 91,400, and then we've got 90k, all right, and a little bit below. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen and BTC is going to dump towards these levels, but it's very likely, right? It's 1st of January. Happy New Year, by the way, again. And we've got around 3 weeks, until the big party and Mr. Donald Trump doing the magic, with the National Reserve, so on and so forth. So why in these 3 weeks we wouldn't see more shakiness, right? To me, kind of makes sense. It's possible, definitely. I'm not saying that it's going to happen because, of course, guys, I don't have any crystal ball. I wish I would, but let's move, all right? Because we've got Binance now daily for Kaspa. So a little bit of a similar scenario. We've got 758,000 worth of shorts on a daily for Kaspa versus 535,000 worth of longs. All right, so at least based on that, Kaspa could bounce from this level that I've showed to you on TradingView, right? But we are going to come back to it anyways. Let's have a look at Kaspa on weekly on all of the exchanges. So all of the exchanges weekly for Kaspa, we've got $6.08 million worth of shorts versus 4.59 million worth of longs, right? So obviously these are not huge numbers like with BTC, but still we can see that predominant number of traders are actually short traders on well, at least on a 7 daily for Kaspa, and that could potentially pull the price of Kaspa towards the upside, right? So let's check and let's click Binance, all right? Binance, and this is what's happening, all right? So if Kaspa would drop to levels of 11 cents 1/8 to be exact, they'll be very quick, I believe, because we've got very little liquidity in here, but we are going to zoom out very soon. And then guys, the upside on 12 hourly at least is 11 cents 6, and then we've got higher levels at 11 cents 7. All right, so let's have a look how the weekly heat map looks for our beloved Kaspa, at least on Binance. So ladies and gents, we could potentially encounter a little bit of a more shakiness, right? 11 cents 06, and then the higher level of liquidity for Kaspa is at 12 cents 3. All right, so let's actually have a look. All right, 12 cents 3, where it can potentially pull the Kaspa. Okay, 12 cents 3. 12 cents 3 is going to be in here. And you know what is also interesting thing is that that target, basically based on the liquidity, right, also perfectly coincides with this level as a resistance, right? We got so many confirmations in here, right? So what I would probably guess of what might gonna happen is that Kaspa will probably a little bit of a shakiness, whatever, and then breakout, rejection, or going a little bit above, or rejection in here, and then retest of this, right? And then probably continuation, but that's obviously me talking future. Okay, let's firstly wait for this thing to actually stabilize, let's say in this area here somewhere, okay, and then smashing, and then we are going to obviously reevaluate the charts. All right, so now guys, let's have a look at what is going on with Bitcoin's dominance, because we are all waiting for this damn thing to drop. Okay, so we've got 4 hourly. This is what's going on 4 hourly. All right, it doesn't really tell us a lot, so let's zoom out to daily. Daily time frame is showing us such scenario. Well, so let's see how this is going to play out on a daily, okay? Because we can technically argue, that we can just move this, okay? And let's see how this candle is actually going to close on a daily, and then we can potentially argue that, well, actually potentially 100% we can, say that this dominance is printing lower lows, okay? And then hopefully it's going to go towards the downside in coming days, weeks, who really knows when. But let's go to USDT dominance. All right, so guys, looking at USDT dominance, okay, this looks to me like very let's say unstable. Okay, like market is basically waiting for the direction, right? We are either going lower or we are basically going to pump, okay, because that's what USDT dominance is doing. Every single time it's going above this line of 4.37%, 10%, right? We got rejection, pullback, and stuff like this. Okay, so what we want to see obviously is the proper dump on USDT dominance. All right, we got so many attempts of breaking this as a resistance and flipping it into support, and USDT dominance still haven't managed to actually do it, right? And now looking at stochastic RSI, we got some bearish divergence, right? Or at least the trend line, let's say, call it, right? And nonetheless, that would be the bearish divergence. Okay, so let's see how this thing is going to go. Hopefully it's not going to flip above, okay, and it's going to continue towards the downside. And now guys, the bonus that I was mentioning about, all right? So first of all, shout out to a Layer Egg account on X, and I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video because you might actually find a use of this, because you've got different kind of token releases and unlocks and stuff like this. And of course, this I believe is the most important date, you know, for crypto. Okay, so let's wait, guys. Oh, and by the way, SEC Gary Gensler resigns. Guys, this is going to be a beautiful date, 20th of January. Guys, I hope that this helps, and as always, peace and love, crypto.